Hey friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Brett and I so appreciate you being here today. We are going to talk about Incredibles 2. I know some of you guys may be super jealous, but I saw one of the first screenings of the movie ever. So this has been 14 years in the making since the first Incredibles from Disney and Pixar. And this film follows superheroes being outlawed by the government to use their powers. So they're not allowed to save mankind because they're causing more destruction than saving it. And so we're seeing how the Incredibles family is adapting to suburban lifestyle. What is it like to actually be a family? How can they suppress their powers? Mr. Incredible is dying to use his powers. Of course, things can't be quite as simple as it seems, where they get enveloped into this plot where they actually have to secretly use their powers. I don't want to get into spoiler town, but it deals with some really cool and interesting ideas involving, I guess, being your true self amongst complacency, or when people are trying to enforce rules that, hey, you shouldn't embrace who you are. It's like kind of a really cool message. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with a really excellent film. Okay, so to give you some context on where I stand with Incredibles, if the pinnacle of Pixar films, you have Finding Nemo, Ratatouille right up here, and then you have WALL-E and Up, like the pits way down here. I'd put Incredibles 1 like right in the middle. I haven't seen Incredibles 1 since probably about high school, so it's been a while for me since I've seen it. But I remember on repeated viewings, I think Incredibles is a really fun and engaging take on spy movies, but it doesn't have like the heart that something like Finding Nemo or Ratatouille would have, but it's definitely not flops like WALL-E and Up. Also, as a really quick side note, for those of you guys who are wondering, if you did not see Incredibles 1, no, you do not have to see Incredibles 1 to see Incredibles 2. Don't worry, because they'll catch you up to speed and you'll know exactly what they're talking about. However, Incredibles 2 really ups the stakes from Incredibles 1, therefore makes for a much better film in my opinion. So what I really appreciate what writer-director Brad Bird did with Incredibles 2 is there is a more mature mentality on this. I don't know if it's age or wisdom or him thinking that kids can handle a more challenging message. Absolutely loved what he was doing with the intricate storytelling here. We are looking at core family values. I don't really want to get into too much detail, but Mr. Incredible has to explore more of what it's like to be a father and take care of the kids, something that Mrs. Incredible / Elastigirl had been doing for a long time as Elastigirl goes out and is fighting crime and using her powers and stuff. So we see this cool gender dynamic flip and a really interesting and engaging insight on what it means to be a parent and switching occupational roles. This is obviously something that a lot of families go through, but I feel that it's really cool for an animated movie to explore the intricacies of gender roles within the family and make it interesting and feminist without being over the top or trying to shove a message down your throat. So it's really sophisticated storytelling, and I like that it takes its time to sort of set up who these people are and what they've been doing since retiring from superpowers. It is not piling action scenes upon action scenes so much as really enriching the characters. So we get some really great dialogue between all of the family, especially between parents and kids. What other kids animated movies taking the time to actually have engaging and rich dialogue scenes that hint at male ego or feminine energy? It's taking some really rich dialogue and giving kids, I guess, exposure to some more conversational scenes that I think kids will absolutely be enthralled by. I think it's just a much more mature take on the standard, I guess, kids animated flick, even though Incredibles and Pixar movies in general are for everybody. For a 2-hour runtime, I saw that it was 2 hours, and you know me, I have the attention span of a baby goat. 80 minutes is pushing it for me, but Incredibles was really well paced. For the whole 2 hours, I was shocked. It sustains itself really well. What's even more impressive with this film is the action set pieces are absolutely thrilling. Towards the end of the film, we have one huge action set piece that sustains for a really long time. It all takes place in one setting, but we see each layer of this setting. I was just enthralled how everything builds upon each other, how Brad Bird can balance multiple characters and storylines and different superpowers and show them so coherently. We never lose sight of space, time, the characters, what they're doing, motivation. In addition to that, the action works even better because there is a real sense of danger in this movie. That's one thing Brad Bird purposely tried to achieve with this movie, is to make sure, hey, just because this is a kid's flick doesn't mean that people can't seriously be injured or near death. And it takes violence very seriously. So I think some of you guys will be shocked with the level of how gritty the action is. It's very suspenseful. You're going to be so wowed by these action set pieces. They are amongst the best that I've seen all year, right up there with like Infinity War. I can't say much more about it. I also have to say it's really funny in a lot of moments, especially Jack the baby, him harnessing and discovering what his powers are and the family discovering with him what his powers are. Some of the funniest stuff you'll see all year. Okay, so I'm just gonna start wrapping it up, but Incredibles 2 is a phenomenal film. It is rich, it is gorgeously animated, it is funny and moving. Everything you can expect from a Pixar film and then some. It definitely ranks in the top tier of Pixar movies for me, and I think it's very well near perfect. I loved it, and I'm gonna give it a 9.3 out of 10. One of the best movies of the year. So that is it for me. Now I have to turn it over to you guys. I just realized Incredibles 2 is not playing yet. I think it comes out June 15th. So I hope you guys are watching this right now anyway, because hello, I'm putting this review out early so you guys could sort of know what you're in for. However, when you finish watching the movie, come back and drop a comment or talk to me. Let me know, what did you think of this movie? Did you love it or did you hate it? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be awesome. I'm churning out some more reviews. I think I'm gonna check out Hereditary this weekend. So, you know, fingers crossed that I don't die. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys at the movies.